Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a guide for Servant Summer Camp, Chaldea's Thriller Night. It's this year's summer event, and if my memory's right, it should be a much more merciful experience than Summer 3 and 4, especially if you're a lazy bastard that does it on the last week, like me. The centerpiece of the event's story portion is a day-night cycle that persists until you beat the main quest. Then you unlock the ability to change map states like in Seraph. Honestly, I don't remember it mattering all that much. Like, there are missions tied to both halves of the day, but just doing the event got me through a lot of them. I don't believe it's possible to softlock yourself or anything stupid, so don't sweat it. That said, I'll note that for mid-boss enemies, a lot of the mission-related ones tend to be daytime foes, so if you're having trouble finding them, that's probably why. Beasts and dangerous crabs can also be a bit slow going early on, so consider prioritizing them if you're concerned about falling behind. Oh, about the missions. Yeah, the system is there, but it shouldn't bust your balls terribly hard. Just check in to see what you're missing and play it by ear. You can wing it pretty much and just clean up as needed. Eventually, you'll unlock a set of mirror nodes, not to be confused with the day-night difference, that have a slight variation in the enemy list for some of the later free quests. By and large, the regular A-side quests have the enemies you want, including the Lost Bug 4 enemies that count towards the Divine mission, so stick to those unless you need something specific from the B-side. The final node has a very difficult free quest that drops all 3 shop currencies, but forces you to fight either a 3-1-1 or 2-2-3 set with Berserkers, both ending with a 300k health boss. Looping this is a living nightmare, so unless you have a super gong, I'd stick with multi-attacker setups. Either that or use the other nodes. A lot of goodies as you'd expect from a major summer event. Most important is the welfare servant, Lancer Consort U. She has a double XP bonus as per most welfares, and you have missions tied to her bond, ascension, and quests cleared with her in the party, so you may as well get a head start on those. You also get the Chaldea Pathfinder Mystic code right off the bat. It's largely quick-oriented, but the 10% charge can be relevant to some art setups if you're lacking Tropical Summer or just want to level something else. This event has 3 craft essences of note. 2 free, 1 gacha. First is Hide Hunter, the event damage CE. You get these in the shop, and they let you hit some damage thresholds without Black Grail. It's got an NP gain effect to facilitate loops, and it also has a star dump, which makes it worth keeping around even after the event ends. Next is Chainsaw of the Dead. It increases rare enemy spawns, so keep your backline stocked because guess what? There's a mission for that. You get these via mission rewards. Finally, there's Honey Lake, a very powerful gacha CE which, if you set it up right, operates as a generic origin bullet. I'll talk about it some more down the road, but as for the setup in question, it just needs the enemy to be burned. And speaking of which, this event gives the command code Crimson Fairy's Command Seal, which burns on hit. That's synergy. The other notable command code is Lolong Mask, which increases buff success rate. Niche, but I can think of a few Imperial Privileged servants that live and die on that shit. There's a third Bunnytoria CC, but I'll just say I hold it in as high a regard as I do Bunnytoria herself, and leave it at that. If you happen to get Kiara in the gacha, you'll be happy to know that event servants get both damage and bond bonuses, meaning you don't necessarily need high NP levels to farm this time around. We got costumes for the male servants, Lanling, Sigurd, Emiya. Nash also gets one. Look, all I'm saying is the cake said Matthew. Finally, there's a very strange challenge quest, which I'll do a separate video on. It operates kinda sorta like the Mephistopheles exhibition quest, if you remember that. Summer 5 is a fairly easygoing event. Just chip away at it, check the mission list, and you'll reap the rewards in due time. I remember just kinda blitzing it late both times it's been released on JP, and it worked out just fine. That's all folks, I'll be rolling for Kiara this weekend, so come and watch. Twitch.tv/Finotaisen. See ya there.